And Divios, along with the rest of Eager, were actually here yesterday watching Black Dragon's performance against the Latin American South team of eSports. And so do you feel as though Eager is even recognizing that this is a completely different team than what they were able to witness yesterday?
Absolutely. I think that also they got a little bit too over-committed in the picks and bans in the draft phase for the second game. The first game they were, I wouldn't say trolling necessarily, they didn't want to show their full strategies, or their best strategies rather, so they held back, I feel like, the first game. It luckily worked out for them heading into the 40+ minute mark, where they finally found the win off of that one nice spectacular team fight. In the second game, they tried to, I guess, to play a little bit more standard and what we're used to seeing in the meta, but it didn't work out for them. So I'm expecting Eager to go off the wall here in this last final game.
Well, with the picks and bans already underway for game number 3, I'd imagine that Eager isn't looking for any more tricks up their sleeve, and they want to stick a little bit more conventional this go around if they don't want to find themselves being eliminated before tomorrow's semifinals matches.
It's pretty safe to say that whatever they bring out here is going to be considered one of their premier strategies, which is very important. If Eager continue this set and move on in the tournament, then anyone they've got to face is going to have a very good insight into what they're going to play. And the same for Black Dragons. They are using everything they have. And what's impressed me about them is how quickly they've adapted other regions' picks. The picks that they've been playing in this set are not the picks they were playing yesterday. And it shows that they have a bigger playbook than people might think they have.
Something already different from Team Eager is the fact that they didn't ban the Serqet. They banned the Susanoo and first picked the Serqet. So this is going to be the first time in quite a while that we're going to see djpernicus on the Poison Goddess.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Serqet has been a highly prioritized pick in EU, and with the success that EU's been having so far at these LAN events, I think it is around that time to just take a page out of their book and, you know, try and make it work yourself.
I feel like Eager are going to say with this Serqet pick, they're going to go full pressure. They want to run this game from minute 1. And they don't want Black Dragons to give them a, even a chance. A lot of teams think that they can play late game against these international teams, and Black Dragons have shown that you can't. If you give them a lead, they're going to run away with it, and Eager are going to say, no, we're picking early game, we're going to get that lead, we're going to run this game.
The two side laners for Black Dragon, Kliz getting his Bellona, MarcelZ getting his HughZ, the team fight god that he wanted to play in that first game, which worked out relatively well for him up until that later stages, but instantly locking in Terra. Not going to be the Fafnir, but it's going to be the Terra and the Fenrir instead.
And I find it interesting that with ROM being available, we haven't seen that so far from MarcelZ. Ataraxia, why do you feel as though he's prioritizing the HughZ over the ROM?
A lot of the issues with ROM right now is the build path that you go. A lot of hunters have early pressure because they can go Bluestone, and ROM is a character who just can't use it. It procs on one ability and it's his ultimate, so it gives him an unfortunate lane. He's a lot weaker than other characters at the start, and I feel like that's maybe why they're shying away from it. What interests me is they have Terra, Fenrir, and Serqet, and those could kind of go everywhere, I think that Terra's been played by Divios and Aror, as is Fenrir, and also by DJ. All, those two characters are paid by a lot of their players, and very well, so that's a super flex and super janky.
Well, all those gods from Team Eager that have been locked in rely on their escapes to be a big impact, and Poseidon could prevent a lot of these escapes happen if caught under that whirlpool. So I like the thought process for Nann on this Poseidon.
Fenrir support from Aror would certainly be pretty spicy, considering we haven't really seen too much of that since the Fat Chunks days, and I'm not sure too many people are very familiar with the Roar from that point in time, but he was definitely a strong member on this Fenrir support, should it opt to go that way. I'd imagine not so much. I would prefer to see that as a pressure god against the Bellona due to the fact that he does have the stun out, which could work on her bludgeon clear. But I think I have to agree with you wholeheartedly, Toli. That Poseidon cripple could be a massive issue for the entirety of Eager so far.
And I wouldn't be surprised, like you mentioned before, if Aror was to play the Warrior Fenrir, trying to set up best, because we didn't see that the last game where the Nike was providing too much of an impact for the best compared to the first game where the Erlong Shen was being run, trying to really get something going on. And the high base damage from Fenrir's abilities is good enough to be even run in the support position where you can build tanky, get those cooldowns running online, and then just spam that Unchained ability.
What I want to see is what they're planning to run in mid lane with the Fenrir. They opted not to pick up the mid lane, or they could have delayed Fenrir if this was the strat they wanted to go for, and picked up something like Ra or Toth, who could have punished the Fenrir. But right now the characters they have that are in the best god pools that we know of to punish on a Fenrir, they're dwindling. So I'm very curious to see what they do end up picking here.
And typically when we see Nemesis locked in for most teams, they tend to try and hold it off because they want to ensure that there's going to be a ton of frontline or tanky presence on the enemy team. With Eager having Serqet, Fenrir, Cupid, and Terra, do you feel as though the Nemesis can have the same sort of impact?
Yeah, I think Nemesis is a bit more robust than people give her, but she has I think she's going to have a great time in this this game. She has pretty decent matchups against everything, and with the Poseidon, every target is killable. There are some, you know, some games there's just some targets you can't kill unless the team fight's over, but with Poseidon Nemesis, you can guarantee you can kill absolutely everybody, and that's something Eager have got to watch out for.
But with the new wall being the final selection, which I feel as though that'll be going the way of the best in the mid lane, do you think that that's kind of risky to run against the draft so far from Black Dragons?
It's a safe pick, but it's also a low everything pick. It doesn't really do much until late game. It's, you know, you let them play into you and then you respond and you counterfight, and I'm not a fan of Eager's draft so far. It's not something I don't see what they're going to do here.
I feel it's a counter pick here. It's a defensive pick for TheBest, trying to survive in these engagements, just to go up into the sky, prevent himself from getting Kraken if he gets in trouble, prevent the dive happening from oShip in that jungle, as well as maybe relying on the global presence from both Terra and Nuwa to help initiate and find the cleanup kill if djpernicus on the Serqet decides to gank either one of those side lanes.
And with the Ares being the final selection here for Black Dragon, it is do or die at the moment for both of these teams. And Ataraxia, who do you think is going to be taking it away?
I love Zapman. He's a very nice person, and I'm glad to call him a friend, but this is Brazil. Brazil win this game.
You know, I have to give it to Brazil as well here for also the same exact reasons. I love you, Zap, but this composition coming out of Black Dragons is looking very dicey here. And Eager's comp, it's got to work out early or it's not going to work out at all.
Deska's rooting for the underdogs, which is the Brazilian team Black Dragons, to find out whether or not this is the end of Team Eager. We've got Aggro, we've got HughZ, and we've got game number 3 underway.
Thank you very much, Analysts. Black Dragons, again, it seems from the Analysts having the favorable draft, but they've always picked Team Eager to win. Will Black Dragons stumble now? Have they cursed them?
You cursed them, dudes. This is their chance. This is their time. But I think they could really do it. I do.
Yeah.
This Ares pick last here for Black Dragons was perfect. I absolutely love it. They've got control. They are lacking hard CC. That's the big thing here for Black Dragons, is their previous drafts had lots of stuns, lots of knockups, things that were controlling the opposition. Not this time. They have to worry about hitting their skill shots just without any setup. But this Ares pick shuts down the Serqet. It shuts down the Terra. It shuts down the Fenrir, the Cupid. It does 4 members there really dirty. This is a great pick, and this is just like I said in the Obey energy set. It all comes down to how accurate is MarcelZ going to be with his chains. So how accurate is PIBE going to be with his chains?
Look at
That's
this
the big difference.
5-man kind of invade here for Team Eager on the left-hand side of Black Dragons. I think they're just trying to establish some vision control here, maybe find someone out. djpernicus hiding behind a wall, but I'm not sure. What are Eager trying to pull off here?
Just trying to find someone lurking, I think. You were right on the target earlier on, and now that they find out that no one is taking the bait, they're just going to head back and go to their respective lanes. I love the first pick Serqet in this scenario. I think it's really strong. I also love the pick from Zap, not only because it's good against the opposition, but this Cupid would have been excellent against Eager's opposition Eager's lineup as well. This is a really strong Cupid pick to keep it out of the hands of Black Dragons, and we know Zap can play it.
This Ares pick is, I think, going to be the make or break of Black Dragons. If PIBE can hit his chains, it's going to be very difficult for Eager to get anything. If he's missing those, though, as you said, there's a lack of other CC, and already hitting 2 chains in a row, just barely missing the 3rd.
Look at where Aror is handling MarcelZ, just keeping him out of lane on that left side, making sure that he can't get in, and using that auto attack slow. Aror isn't smiling right now. Usually used to seeing him just grinning on the player cams, but he is locked in for this game, and he needs to be to make sure that Eager don't go home early.
Something important to mention is that North America and Europe, yes, they've lost a game to international teams before. They lost a game here and they lost one at Worlds. They have never lost a best of 3 or greater set to an international team.
And this is a chance for Brazil to be the first to do it. MarcelZ in some trouble on that left-hand side. Zap hitting every single auto there on the juking target. Everyone from Eager knows this is serious business time. No more messing around. Love how locked in they are right now. But Black Dragons played so well in Game 2, and really in Game 1 as well, but Game 2 in particular, that I don't know if this means that, even if Eager's going 100%, focusing as hard as they can, I really don't think they took game 2 lightly. I think they really did have every intention of just crushing Black Dragons that game, but Black Dragons just outplayed them, and there's no reason they can't do it again here in game 3.
You could see the seriousness on everyone on eager's face, even TheBest, who, you know, we talk about Aror usually spying. TheBest is just always happy. I've never seen that man not happy. But this is like that meme, you know, top 10 anime transformations. Now they're here, ready to play, ready to fight, and they are, you know, angry. They are pissed, for lack of a better term.
Hughes, I get made fun of all the time for describing memes, just like talking about them colloquially like that, and I'm very proud of you that you just did it. I knew exactly what meme you were talking about and appreciated your reference. Excellent job, my friend.
That's all right. I mean, we have some synergy already. This is our first cast together, actually.
I feel like it's gone horribly, and that's what everyone should have expected.
Yeah.
0-0 still. Eager and Black Dragon sitting at the 0 marks. No real aggression yet, and this is classic Eager. They don't want to necessarily fight early, but as Totally said on the desk, this is a composition that does kind of want to fight early. They've got good late game in the mid lane for TheBest on Nuwa, but basically everywhere else is early game focused. So Eager probably going to look for these early objectives, the early Gold Furies, even some fights over the early Portal Demon could be advantageous for them to try and get a lead.
The right-hand side of the map thus far, though, has belonged to Black Dragons. They're getting the Fire Elementals again. They've gotten both speed buffs so far. You can see them on oShip and on Nann. So they're really running this right-hand side of the map, which is... I personally think that this side of the map is so important early, especially getting your speed buff, because your speed buff as a jungler, and even as a mid laner with a speed buff, allows you to get across the map so early and so quickly and get so much farm.
Without a doubt, and just keeps you safe. I mean, you make sure that you can juke out abilities a little bit easier, which is so important. These little tiny engagements, just your positioning, become so much easier when you've got extra movement speed like that. The problem is that MarcelZ is significantly behind on that left side. For as good of an early game Black Dragons have had on the right, it's going equally poorly on the left. MarcelZ 2 levels down right now.
There's the ultimate there out of TheBest, trying to keep himself safe, but yet again it looks like First Blood's going to go the way of Brazil, and it does. oShip cleans up Best there in the mid lane.
Black Dragons off to another good start. I agree with Ataraxia on the desk. Nuwa does a whole lot of okay. She's okay at everything. She doesn't really excel at anything. She can do unmissable damage with the ultimate. That's the big one, but not enough in the early game.
Mid lane, djpernicus jumps in. There's the ultimate out of Zapman. Nann in a lot of trouble, but an Aegis will save him. There's a Kraken as well. PIBE pulls in 2. Zapman, though, is going to get the kill. Here's Kliz TPing in. Eagles rally. Kliz finds the kill onto DJ.
What a quick response from Kliz to teleport into that mid tower immediately. Teleport takes a while to channel these days after some nerfs coming into Season 4. Takes a long time to get there, so Kliz decided he was coming to that fight early in that engagement, evens it up 1 for 1, and it's about keeping DJ down once more.
And what it does as well is that since Zapman rotated over and MarcelZ didn't, MarcelZ got some free farm in that left lane. Now he's going to get a red buff, might even get his purple buff as well, and he should bring him back up to even with Zapman.
Good idea here from Zap to freeze the wave because it's so close to his tower. It's not a good idea to freeze whenever you're close to the enemy's tower because it puts you out of position. But here, look at how far this wave is up. It's going to be difficult for MarcelZ to come and get this farm anytime soon. Zap definitely making the right play here.
Right-hand side, though, Black Dragons want to keep the control over here. They're looking for this blue buff again. Divios forced into his ultimate, and the blue buff, though, it does fall the way of Eager. However, that's a big ultimate force out of the solo lane.
And it's just for the chains from Ares. PIBE on the mark early on this game. Love that decision from Divios to use the ultimate quickly because he needed to. And look at oShip's confidence, man. He doesn't care. He's just showing DJ a little bit of disrespect, sitting there backing right in front of that wave, saying, I know what you can do, and I'm not scared of it.
Oracle Harpies are going to fall the way of Eager. Gold is still relatively even between these two teams, only about a 500 difference, 600 or so. Experience, again, level, a little bit of an advantage towards Eager. So this game's still very, very even, not too much in it, but Black Dragon's definitely very, very confident in this one, and that is an important thing to see out of an international squad.
Without a doubt, and this team really comes into their own in terms of the composition they've drafted in the mid stages of the game. Right when Nann's Kraken is still basically one-shotting people, but it's starting to fall off in damage a little bit, and it's starting to transition to that control role. Right as PIBE's damage is starting to fall off a little bit and turning into more control as well, that's where oShip starts to really go off. That's where MarcelZ really starts to take off, and that's going to be a lot of damage that Eager has to deal with. that 18 to 21 minute mark is going to be a sweet spot for Black Dragons in this competition.
Black Dragons as well basically forced 3 or 4 members of Team Eager into a Wingblade this game, given that they have a Poseidon, given that they have a Nemesis and an Ares as well. A Wingblade is a pretty much necessary pickup on those members of Team Eager.
And that is good news, though, for Eager overall. While I agree with you that, yes, they're forced into this itemization, it's such a good item anyways, that's not a big deal. You know, that's not something they're really upset about.
Divios.
Oh, Divios in a lot of trouble on the right, but Kliz trying to find it, just turns around and walks away. Divios finds the one-on-one kill underneath the tower.
So close, and you could even you could just tell Kliz was there going for the solo kill, and so close. But that Ragnarok came off on cooldown on just the right moment for Divios.
Really unfortunate. Kliz a little bit upset with himself, as you can see. But this happened in game 2, where Kliz was a little bit upset with his positioning, and it ended up a-okay for the Black Dragons. But Divios getting a lead is exactly what the doctor ordered for Eager. That's exactly what they need if they want to take game 3 here, in my mind, because Divios in game 2 just was invisible because of the Guardian selection. He had such a good game in game 1 on the Pressure Warrior. Give him another Pressure God. Fenrir fits that bill. Let him come in and make life difficult for both Nann and oShip in the mid lane.
And Fenrir, you absolutely need to be ahead. From behind, does very little. Ooh, nice little double tap there out of MarcelZ. PIBE gets a chain onto Aror, so he can't dash through that pillar. A good poke out of the duo lane of Black Dragons. But as I was saying, Fenrir, you really need to be ahead. From behind is actually a detriment to your team because he wants to be in and amongst the action, getting those brutalizers off, jumping in and getting stuns. If you're behind, if you're weak, if you're low on health, you just die.
That's true, but that's usually the assassin role that Fenrir is filling. In this composition, he's probably going to be building fairly tanky. He's going to be the role of the initiator, not necessarily worried about how much damage he's doing, but just picking someone up and bringing them to Zapman, bringing them to TheBest with that Ragnarok. So even if Divios does fall behind, it doesn't spell the end of the world, but it certainly hurts Eager if they want to be aggressive in the early to mid game, which is what their composition should be looking to do.
Gold Fury not really looked at by either of these teams, but the Oracle Harpies has been a side of contention between both. Mid Harpy's going to fall to Black Dragons. Gold still a little bit in their favor. Again, though, not too much to worry about here. Mid lane, it looks like Eager trying to find something. djpernicus through the smoke finds PIBE, but the chains are great from the Peruvian support. oShip dashes back, but here's the Terra's blessing. In jumps djpernicus. PIBE with the ultimate trying to get something here. Nann is still alive somehow, as well as oShip.
Oh, the dot, just not quite enough. Maybe 1 or 2 more, and that would have been a kill for djpernicus on the enemy jungler. But this creates enough space for Eager to think about potentially pulling the Gold Fury. Best playing aggressive, finds the stun on MarcelZ without finding the root. MarcelZ's going to jump away, but Eager only get the oracles, not the objective.
Kliz tried to TP in there, but the wall was killed very quickly there by Eager, so preventing that relic use from the Black Dragons, preventing the re-engage, especially. Aurora, a little bit of poke onto him here. Nann still hanging around despite being very low HP.
He's got the Bumba's Mask, though, and he heals off of that purple buff to give him a little bit of sustain to stay here, just in case Team Eager decide they do want to go for that Gold Fury. Divios had an opportunity to steal away buffs on that right side,
for it,
but didn't recognize that they were up initially before Kliz got back here, and
Good
Kliz
timing.
is going to be able to secure his own blue. Divios instead went for the Fire Elementals, which is an additional farm that Kliz doesn't have, but that could have been a speed buff invade onto oShip. Divios just didn't have the information to make the right play.
That was a great play there from Kliz. He waited for Divios to do some damage to that blue buff, and then used his budget and got extra damage for hitting Divios with it as well, enough to secure it. But now Eager taking this Gold Fury down very, very quickly. Black Dragons are here, though. Aurora taking some damage. Eager gets to the Gold Fury, but MarcelZ raining the suns down. Aurora's in a lot of trouble. PIBE picks him up. Zapman with the Fields level will keep himself safe, but PIBE's putting this team on his back. Double kill for the Ares.
2 for 0, but Eager do get the Gold Fury. It's a matter of what Black Dragons can do with this 2-man advantage.
I love this.
Great call. Immediately to the mid lane. The mid wave was already pushed underneath the tower. 500 gold here.
Plus Portal Demon.
Exactly, going right for that objective as well. And if Team Eager can't get in to contest this one, it's going to be a net gain here for Black Dragons.
Kraken is still up for Nann to secure this if they need it. I don't know if Divios is going to come in. Fire Shards come out, so Eager know where Black Dragons are. Here comes the Kraken. Eager get the Portal Demon, but PIBE gets another kill.
That's a big play out of Divios. And PIBE, or excuse me, Nann needs to just Kraken that Portal Demon every single time. Black Dragon's probably not going to fight after that engagement. Use it to secure the objective, and you probably would have killed Divios anyways there. Now, because Divios does fall, this does allow Black Dragons to almost get this tier 1, but oShip might have stayed too long to try and secure that 500 gold.
Terra's Blessing comes out, PIBE in the middle of Team Eager. Up he goes with a no escape, but he might fall quickly. He does. Zapman picks up the kill, and now it's a 4-on-4 situation that slightly favors Eager due to the cooldowns, but they're just going to pick up one. Black Dragon's going to walk away here underneath their tier 1 tower. Best with the minions. They're going to look to try and take this tower here, our Team Eager.
And this is what Nuwa excels at. We were saying she doesn't excel at a whole lot, but I think we all are forgetting about her tower siege potential. Now, those minions don't remove backdoor protections like they used to, but it still just tanks up that tower and provides you a little bit of extra damage onto the structure. Eager going to answer back with 500 of their own, courtesy of a tower. It's going to put them up right around 1,000 gold, but Black Dragon still up in kills, 5-3.
This is a very even game. djpernicus slowed down there, forced to burn his beads, actually jumping away from MarcelZ and Nann. Red buff is going to be secured by the Black Dragons as well, so not too much of a loss there for them, but a very important relic burnt on DJ.
And DJ has needed that purification beads consistently in this game. 2 deaths again for the jungler, and he's been a big focus for Black Dragons, and I can't say I blame him with this composition that they've drafted. Does a great job of shutting down the mobility of the Serqet.
Oracle Harpies going to fall the way of both these teams, split evenly there, so no vision over the Gold Fury. But it's still not going to spawn for another 2.5 minutes, so neither team terribly worried about that, more about the golden experience. Kliz still battling out Divios here in the right-hand side solo lane. But overall, as I was saying, just a very close game still between these two teams, neither giving an inch, looking just very much like this one is going to be a slugfest, trading blows back and forth.
Love the itemization so far from oShip, an early stone-cutting sword. It's an expensive item, but he got it online pretty early on in this game, and now he can go for some cheaper items to try and augment that damage quickly and all of a sudden get a big burst. And Nemesis right now, as we're nearing the 13-minute mark, is starting to become more and more relevant in terms of damage. The slice and dice, that's maxed out, so you're going to be able to clear the wave a little bit easier. You're going to be doing more poke damage and slowing them pretty significantly. And now your auto attacks are going to be swinging quite heavily as well with that stone cutting.
While it has been exciting to see a support get 3 kills, I mean, that's kind of just what Ares does, the kill distribution hasn't been, it's not the most efficient for Black Dragons.
I would agree with you there. If I'm MarcelZ, I'm saying, hey, PIBE, nice job, but can you throw some kills my way next time? And if you're rooting for Black Dragons, it's probably who you wish had some of these kills, MarcelZ. But he's already sitting at 0-0-3, right there even with Zapman thus far.
Great stun from Divios just to prevent Kliz from being able to full clear that wave. And Divios now he's starting to become online and a little bit scary with this Fenrir.
Without a doubt, now he's getting a little bit of extra damage, or excuse me, yeah, damage and lifesteal with that Seething Howl and the Sunder as well. So you know he's going to be looking to hit the stun and the Sunder right back to back.
Zapman ults MarcelZ. They're trying to force a relic out. Might try and force the kill, but now Zapman's in trouble. It was all a bait from MarcelZ. PIBE with the chain. Zapman burns the purification beads. Can oShip find the kill? He might be out, and Divios is teleported in, so this might be trouble for the Black Dragons. Nann is rotating in as well, but a great response there from PIBE.
Great job holding that no escape to give him the CC immunity to get out of the Ragnarok. Kliz, he's shown up with his own teleport. Win there overall for Black Dragons, I would say. You get both relics out of Divios and his ultimate. Both relics out of Zapman, more importantly.
And his ultimate.
No relics used by Black Dragons outside of the lone teleport from Kliz. Nice idea by them. I can't believe Zapman got out, but it was the fact that Aror used his global ultimate and then bested as well. So 4 ults down for that little engagement.
oShip fighting djpernicus here, actually getting the better of the engagement as DJ heals up oShip through that Nemesis shield. Importantly there as well, MarcelZ didn't use any of his relics. So disciplined. And I think at that point when Zapman realized, like, why is this guy taking all this damage and all of this CC for free, he kind of realized, I might be in some trouble.
Really smart plays out of Black Dragons. Their communication seemed to be very, very clean. Knows exactly what everyone is going to do on their team all at once. Really impressed with the way they played so far today, regardless of the outcome of this game.
Divios jumped into the left-hand side camps, but Kliz is able to secure it with the disarm. Gold Fury seems to be the next objective of these two teams, or at least the Oracle Harpies, and Nann does have his Kraken online. Divios jumps in. There is the Ragnarok ultimate. PIBE doesn't have his no escape. Feels the lung come down, but it's a big Kraken from Nann. MarcelZ claims the life of the Fenrir, and now Black Dragons have got themselves a man advantage.
This was happening to Eager in game 1. Over-committing to the tanks. That time it's PIBE. There's just not burst damage on this roster for Eager. There's no Kraken. There's nothing outside of the minion stun coming out of Best. Just can't do that.
Aror dash there, he's in a little bit of trouble. Nann, very low HP, very low mana. djpernicus getting in there, looking to get some damage. They toss back PIBE. Finally, the life of the Ares is claimed. Kliz disarms Zapman very nicely. DJ claims a kill. Actually, it's going to be best. Whirlpool thrown down there from Nann, but Black Dragons are stuck around too long.
Really good plays out of DJ. He turns it around for Team Eager there. A great Cobra's Kiss. It's multiple members of Black Dragons, and then finds the right target with the last breath on top of it. Nice plays out of the jungler, setting Eager back on the right foot.
And now the Gold Fury is open right up for Team Eager. No one really around to contest this other than oShip and MarcelZ. MarcelZ doesn't even have his sons up here. Can he find a lucky ricochet? The Terra's Blessings used, and now Eager looking for the kill. DJ blinks through the wall. Eager get the Gold Fury as well, but oShip's turning onto djpernicus. MarcelZ trying to fight Aror here along with TheBest, but there's nothing the Black Dragons can find off the back of that. Big win for Team Eager.
Big win, exactly. That Gold Fury, the second of the game, both going Eager's way. That time, though, they didn't lose any members in securing the objective. Now up about 2,500 gold. But again, this is what this draft is designed to do for Team Eager. Love the patience from Black Dragons to just wait out Divios' ultimate and then immediately commit the Kraken to him. Look at how much magical defense he had. At that point, it was very little. I think it was just the Enchanted Buckle. Now he's finished that Runic Shield, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for PIBE and Nann to do relevant damage to him. But still, they can still really chunk through the lack of HP that he has. Runic Shield, the only HP item.
Portal Demon there taken by the Black Dragons, making sure that they get that one secured this game. They lost one earlier with a missed Kraken, or a mistimed Kraken, I should say. But now looking at PIBE as well, just starting to get some of his own magical damage online, and I bring that magical protection online, and I bring that up because of the player damage coming out of TheBest. Yes, his fire shards can hit every target of the map, you know, Nuwa forehead, hard skill shot, but still, top damage by about 3,000 at this stage of the game with a Nuwa. Pretty impressive.
No, he has had a very impressive game. I agree with you there. We've been doubting this Nuwa pick, but through the early stages of the game, Best has played it very well. And Nuwa does bring excellent burst damage in one-on-one engagements, two-on-one, where you can CC them and get multiple hits off the minion stun. And that can happen off of the Ragnarok holding from Divios. It's just difficult to do so in the middle of a team fight, and it's still not your, giant burst of raw snipe Kraken, something like that, but certainly can be effective with this pick, and that's exactly what Best has been thus far. A big, big play out of Best so far this game.
Kliz getting jumped on by Divios. djpernicus is around here as well. No tier 1 tower for Kliz to hide under, but he wisely backs away. Aror's in a lot of trouble here. Kraken comes out, the fire, the flames, look at the heals of Terra, and PIBE claims his 4th kill of the game.
Aror knows exactly how much damage Ares can do. Yep. Aror, one of the premier Ares in the world, and PIBE showing him that he can do it himself. Another kill. 4 of the 7 on Black Dragons are on the support.
Sunder was used there by Divios. He jumps on, and Kliz actually, does he use Purification beats there? Fire Shards comes out. Kliz, no chance to get out as DJ's here as well.
I think Divios just dropped him there to get extra auto attacks while that Sunder was still active onto the Bellona. Smart plays there out of the solo laner, and this is one of the disadvantages of games like this, where both solo towers go down fairly early, and there's a lot of rotations. Your solo laners don't get ahead, and that favors a character like Fenrir more than it does Bellona. Bellona needs to have some levels to be really effective in these team fights. All warriors do. That's what they're designed for. But Divios is playing an assassin. Yes, he's building tanky, but he still has excellent numbers to get in there and brawl it up with the rest of the team. So this style of game that Eager has kind of baited Black Dragons into is definitely favoring Eager's draft.
And djpernicus, for me, this game has really stepped it up. Last game really struggled on the Ratatoska pick, but now he's finding himself on Serqet, an assassin with a lot of damage early, finding himself some golden experience, not finding himself behind, a few kills as well, a little bit more confidence as well, I would say. So now that he's a little bit more relevant in the game, the whole team of Team Eager is a little bit more complete.
And oShip is not getting off to as nearly as good of a start as he did last time around. And this time on this Nemesis, just now finishing off that Wing Blade. It took him a little bit of time to farm up a relatively cheap item in that 3rd slot. Now could be going for an Executioner, could be a Chin Size, should be one or the other depending on what MarcelZ wants to go for. Both these two can shred targets for each other as long as they itemize correctly. These auto attacks could be doing a lot of damage, but there's only one Guardian, and there's no Warriors. Remember, Divios, while he's building tanky, doesn't have that innate physical protection that oShip really wants to steal from these frontliners.
Black Dragon's committing a little bit to this tower here. Eager recognize this, start to rotate over this way, but in the mid lane, it looks like Divios and djpernicus are trying to find a pick here onto oShip, but Kliz is there to help peel away the Fenrir.
oShip doing a nice job with that Retribution Shield so far this game. We saw right there him healing himself up, using that third ability, and then against djpernicus as well. But now that DJ's hit level 17, he's 2 levels ahead of this Nemesis in the jungle. He's been very safe thus far, and a ton of penetration already for DJ. The Jotun's Wrath directly into the Titan's Bane. And while Titan's Bane in that slot not necessarily as effective because there isn't as much physical protection in the route on the map, it's about waiting until later. He's buying this now for the power, and the penetration will become more and more relevant as the game goes on. And it allows him to itemize for different things in the meantime without worrying about where his penetration's at.
oShip just getting some poke down to Aror. Zap gonna help him heal him up a little bit. Gold Fury is spawning. Eager's got both of these thus far, and that's kept the gold lead relatively even between these two teams. If Black Dragons could finally find one of these objectives, could be trouble for Eager, but Black Dragons are shredding. This Terra's Blessing comes through. We need to see a Kraken to secure it. Black Dragons actually get it without the Kraken. PIBE with the no escape doesn't find a target. Zapman dashing away from oShip, who's trying to pick up the Cupid, and now Kliz is in a lot of trouble as Divios managed to pick him up, and oShip stuck between them. There's big Kraken there, though. Might save oShip. djpernicus says, not so quickly, son.
That last breath's going to be able to clean him up. And Eager got the Gold Fury once and then lost 2 members. Exact same thing happening to Black Dragons right now, but it might be 3. PIBE got nowhere to go, locked in the jungle. Zapman finds his 4th kill. Eager with number 9 in total, and they take the team fight despite the lack of objective control on the blue side. Nann was just too low on mana. He couldn't even use the Kraken to try and to secure that Gold Fury. Sands of Time gave him enough in order to step up and use a Kraken that was nice, but he just doesn't have quite enough damage to one-shot anyone anymore at this stage in the game because of all the HP. Look at TheBest. He's got that ethereal staff. He's not as worried about your just big damage numbers because of how much more HP and CC reduction he has.
There's a big commitment there onto Zapman, who I thought did an excellent job to be able to get out and just bait so many abilities. Baited the overcommit from Kliz and from oShip. Without those two protecting their backline, there was not a whole lot that PIBE could do once that no escape was down. That's
the big one, is that Kliz was just too far forward there, cannot afford to be frontlining like that when he's down in levels to everyone on Eager outside of Aror. Portal Demon goes down in favor of Team Eager. Kliz just a moment too late in terms of using that Eagles rally.
Gold in the favor of Team Eager. Experience a little bit that way as well. As you mentioned earlier, oShip not quite as far ahead in this game, or not as quite experience advantage as he would have had in the previous games. djpernicus actually with a 2-level advantage. Now we're starting to see the chart spike in Team Eager's favor. You know, the game's not over, but now it's starting, the clock's starting to tick now for Team Eager.
But again, this is where Black Dragon's composition can start to shine as long as they can use their to find the right targets. Zapman doesn't have any relics, but oShip gets stunned out by Divios. DJ wrapping around the back, the Terra's Blessings pop, which allows Divios to reach the jungler in time and bring him back for Best to put up double digits for Eager.
Divios has done such a good job this game of punishing oShip for his overcommitments. MarcelZ finally going to get this tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, but it looks like Eager want to push up this mid lane, and this might cost Black Dragons a tier 2 tower. Divios going to teleport over onto the left-hand side as well.
Stopping the push of MarcelZ. He's going to back up, as will the rest of Team Eager. oShip did go for the Executioner, and MarcelZ went for the Chin size, so good coordination between the two there. Don't want to stack 2 Executioners necessarily, though it's not the end of the world if you do. But if those two are on the same target, between the Stone-Cutting Sword and the Executioner, oShip is going to shred through anybody on Team Eager. It's just a matter of how long can he actually stand there and auto-attack. That's the big thing with Nemesis is, yes, between her passive and stealing away physical protection with your ultimate, and then this kind of itemization, on paper, your DPS is absolutely insane. Just a matter of, can I really stick around for 3 auto-attacks on the same target all the time? Difficult to really guarantee that you can do so.
And he's been going for Zapman a lot, and Zapman's done such a good job on this Cupid, being able to stay calm and collected, get out, and then turn and burn when the rest of his team shows up. 4-0-3 thus far for the Hunter of Team Eager.
And Nann just doesn't have a lot of damage still. Yes, the Spear of the Megas certainly helping him out overall, but that Fatalis 4th item is great for survivability, gives you a little bit of penetration, but still not much. It doesn't need a whole lot more of pen after that Spear of the Megas, especially in terms of flat pen, even with that Hardware Amulet being done for Aror. But overall, Nann just going to be lacking in damage overall. You can see he's almost being doubled right now by the damage that TheBest is putting out.
Bottle Demon's still down here. Fire Giant not really being seriously looked at by Team Eager, but they want to pressure the Black Dragons away from this objective and away from this side of the jungle. 3 members of the Brazilian squad are in the mid lane. Zapman hanging around that area as well. But overall, Team Eager just strategically forcing Black Dragons back and back and back, slowly putting a stranglehold on this team.
I do love the Magi's pickup here for PIBE on this Ares. Just there's a lot of CC on Team Eager, yes, but most of it is where you get committed to. There's not a lot of, you know, disarms from a distance or Geb knockups that you can do without really committing a key cooldown. It's Divios jumping in on you. It's Zapman with the Heart Bomb is the easiest one to really commit to without you know, losing the team fight off the bat. Aror is the other one with that Crushing Earth that's going to be looking for PIBE, but without extra CC on top of that, it's difficult to confirm it from a distance. And as long as PIBE can make sure that he doesn't get hit by that Crushing Earth or Heart Bomb, he's going to be able to withstand the tanking. He's going to be able to withstand the CC onslaught that Eager's been able to throw at him, because Eager's recognized that no escape is problematic for them in their draft, and they need to take out Ares early on. But with that Magi's Blessing now having 2 aura items as well, PIBE might just be too tanky in order for that to happen.
Gold3 has respawned. Divios going to start that one up. Zapman going to be coming along here soon as well, but more than anything, looking to just bait Black Dragons in here. PIBE going in. The Heart Bomb doesn't land from Zapman. That could have been a good burn of the Magi's Blessing if he'd got it, but unfortunately not to hit that one. Divios still hanging around the wall, trying to bait stuff out of Black Dragons, but Black Dragons holding their nerve.
And again, I think that was an attempt to get that Magi's Blessing off of PIBE, but both Zapman and Divios can't quite find it. Now Gold Fury is going to be the focus for Team Eager. Black Dragon knows this is happening with that ward there, but Eager's doing this pretty quickly.
Divios jumps in, and Eager immediately turn off the Gold Fury. Kraken comes out, no escape as well for PIBE. He pulls in 2, the Sun's already down from MarcelZ. Black Dragons don't lose any members. Kliz is very low, and they force Eager away from the Gold Fury. Fields of Love comes out, that burns a lot of beads and forces Black Dragons away.
Kliz just able to back in time. Does have that teleport to come back in, but look at how healthy all of Eager is. No ultimates on either side now as they start up the Gold Fury once more.
Chains coming out from PIBE, who gets hit by that Crushing Earth, taking a lot of damage. They're investing a lot into this tank. Our Team Eager, and they might be able to find the kill. Good stun there from Divios. djpernicus comes in, but a beautiful Whirlpool prevents him from dashing forward. That's not going to stop Divios, though. The Brutalize comes out. He jumps forward. He wants this tank, but he might pay for it with his life as Kliz goes in with the bludgeon.
oShip coming around the backside, gets stunned out there. The Whirlpool's good. Divios locked in place for a moment, but just not enough damage from Black Dragons to kill any of these low health targets.
Not enough damage at this stage of the game, but the later and later it goes, the more and more they'll have online with oShip and with MarcelZ. Eager, no one falling. Black Dragons, no one falling, but this Gold Fury yet again started up by Team Eager.
MarcelZ still pretty healthy. oShip's about half HP and needs to be worried about djpernicus. Gold Fury gets reset here by Eager. I don't know if they meant to do that. oShip is toast. Actually,
the shield.
Retribution shield still not going to be enough. He's going to fall to djpernicus. That new ultimate would have confirmed it anyways. Eager get the pick and the objective. Gold lead now about 5K.
It's starting to look worse and worse for the Black Dragons, just seeming to run into a wall that is Team Eager. Eager seem to have awoken now. They seem to have really switched it on, and you know, maybe they're revealing a couple of picks, a couple of strats that they might not want to, but this is the final game. They have to be playing this way against this team. Otherwise, they face the prospect of elimination.
There's no more time to hold back at this stage. You're absolutely right. You cannot afford to... Pocket picks are no good when you've been eliminated before you got a chance to use them. May as well pull it out. And Divios has played this Fenrir before. It's not like this is some crazy new pick where like, oh, what is Divios doing? It's something that he's been pretty confident on in the past. So not a huge surprise to see him pull it out here in a game 3. And he certainly made it work thus far. 2, 2, and 4. He's top of the player damage. He's second on player damage in his team.
Nann caught out a little bit there by djpernicus, but he's going to be all right. There's the Magi's pop from Divios that he's been wanting to see. Aror's picked up one of his own now as well, as Team Eager looking to pressure this right-hand side tier 2 tower. And Black Dragons, recognizing they don't have the damage online now to really contest it, let that one fall. And the gold lead keeps building up for Team Eager.
And again, it was djpernicus that set all of that in motion for Eager, forcing Nann out just because of his raw damage on the Serqet. Divios forced to use his ultimate as oShip used that Divine Retribution onto the solo laner. I think that's a win for Eager overall, though, just because of how much cooldown is the Divios' build. He's got 20%, soon to be closer to 30% whenever he finishes off that Spirits Robe or Mantle of Discord, and whereas oShip does not have any CDR in his build. So this is a win for Team Eager because that Ragnarok going to be up a little bit sooner than the Divine Retribution.
Experience as well really starting to take its toll here. For Black Dragons, Team Eager, they've got 3 members on level 20, only 2 for Black Dragons, and oShip especially. Nemesis, a very late game character, 2 levels behind djpernicus, who is a Serqet, she's good early, she's good mid, and she's really good late.
It has one-shot potential, though DJ has not gone for that one-shot style of build. Instead electing for some more survivability, though he does with that Heartseeker add that one-shot capability, whenever, but it's only on one target at one time, where we saw some of the crits come out earlier on this weekend, I believe, for Serqet. That's your real one-shot potential if you roll well on Deathbane or your auto attacks. DJ more relying on the passive to take chunks out of the opposition, as well as just the outright auto attacks.
Null engagement really here between these two teams, but the Magi's Blessing is popped. PIBE hits one chain, unable to find another one as Zapman dashes away here. Eager not really looking to find a fight yet.
The problem for me with this composition for Black Dragons, they're really lacking initiation. They're waiting for Eager to be the ones to aggress because PIBE has gone for no blink. Instead, it's been the sprint and the meditation. And while both those are probably necessary in this matchup, it does hurt the fact that Black Dragons can't be the ones to initiate the fights.
And, you know, a Blink Ares has been kind of a standard thing, and it's a shame to see PIBE not be able to go that route. Divios jumps over the wall there, but there's the sprint from PIBE that gets the chains onto TheBest, forces him up into the Fire Shard. Terra's blessing out from Aror as well. Best comes back down, taking a lot of damage, but they're committing a lot to this new war. PIBE pulls in one. MarcelZ forced out the back. Divios just chunking the backline. He finds Nann, and he picks up MarcelZ as well. Pernicus finds PIBE, and now oShip needs to try and defend his Hunter.
That Sunder was huge out of Divios. He's still handling 2 on the backside. djpernicus finds a double kill, now doubling Eager in kills. 14-7 over top of Black Dragons. You called it right there, Hughes. An overcommit onto the new wall. That's what she brings to the late game. Guaranteed damage, yes, but safety as well. Can just buy so much time, kind of ROM-esque in that ultimate. Just buying time for the rest of the team to get there. And both Divios and djpernicus came screaming out of that jungle to help out that team
He
fight.
didn't even use his Aegis there. All he burnt was his ultimate and his beads. And even then, when I say burning his ultimate, he still hits everyone on the team. It does a ton of damage at this stage as well.
And Nann has just not been able to be effective this game. He was a huge part of Game 2 for Black Dragons. Game 3, just not the same effect whatsoever. 0, 2, and 5. He's third on his team in player damage, but still not really enough to be relevant in this game. And he still doesn't have that route off to HughZ online.
Importantly as well, we mentioned this earlier, the majority of kills have been onto PIBE, and there were kills early. The rest of his team has actually really struggled to find any kills in this game, and that's really been a big story of this one, is that the whole of Black Dragons, they get some good counter engages, they get some good damage down, but they just can't finish off the kills.
And I think that's what Eager realizes, that they don't have a lot of engage. Let's just kind of bait it out. We'll half engage, wait for them to full-on counter engage, and then the fight really begins. But it's always Eager who seems to be dictating when and where these fights are happening.
33 minutes into this game, 14-7 reads the kills, about a 13,000 gold difference in favor of Team Eager now. They're really starting to snowball themselves ahead. Zapman looking to extend that lead by taking these Oracle Harpies, and he's got some crit online now with that Deathbane.
Looks like it's going to be a Rage after that. The short sword could be the Malice as well. We saw him pick that up in game number 1. That was the big difference maker. Where's that man's crits in the late game? Eager going to get another Gold Fury, their 4th of the game. Gold Furies were the real story of this game. He was 5 in total in 33 minutes. 4 of them going for Eager. It's very difficult to win a game when you're giving up that much gold to the opposition off of a neutral objective like the Gold Fury.
Nann can't find anything there against Aror. Aror happy to just stand and look at the mid lane. A Portal Demon started up here by Team Eager, but they don't want to overcommit to it just yet. But if they could find a good engagement here, this could be the end for the Black Dragons, as the Fire Giant is sitting right there.
TheBest is completely full build. He's even got his purple pot ready to go. Chalice of the Oracle as well to make sure that he's never going to run out of wards in these engagements. Got that Spear of Desolation, a lot of power, more penetration, and then cooldown reduction as well, making sure that he can juke out as much as possible with the fog, throw out as many minions as he can, but more importantly, get off as many ults as humanly possible. That new ult in the late game When you get smacked for unmissable 600 damage, that is so important in these late game team fights. You really can't overstate how valuable it is.
Now we're seeing members of Team Eager filter out through that portal. Power pots in hand. If they find a good engagement here, it'll be the end for the Black Dragons. There's so much damage online for Team Eager.
Almost everybody has a power pot. Aror is completely full build. Zapman, the only one, still not happy with where his build is at and still needs to finish off that 6th item. But he's going to be the one starting up the Fire Giant as the rest of Eager try and zone away Black Dragons.
Aror can really zone very effectively, but with Divios here as well, it's going to be next to impossible for Black Dragons to get through. Kliz trying to force his way through. Terra's Blessing comes out as well. Whirlpool down from Nann. Divios just going to jump straight here onto the Bellona. Ragnarok ultimate forces out the Eagles rally as well, but Divios still might find Kliz. He finds Nann instead, who's probably the better pick. Nann forced in place. The Fire Shards are going to finish him off. Kraken comes through and Divios takes a lot of damage, but still, this is going the way of Eager.
Great no escape here, though. Going to pull in Divios. That evens it 1-1, but look at how weak Black Dragons are. Zap dashing forward, can't find the Heart Bomb, but the auto attack is good. Zap finds his 5th, 5-0 and 6. You can make that 6 now after the double kill for Zapman, and Eager gonna knock down this right side Phoenix.
They're gonna take this right hand side Phoenix. Mid Phoenix is down as well. Let's take a listen in with Eager as they potentially end this game.
Oh, 5 seconds.
Be really careful about getting picked off. Go for your low.
Now.
I still have blink, but
I think mid then fire. Did who you have actives?
Maybe.
That's all Poseidon's actives.
Let's go to fire. Let's just get the fire and win.
Yeah. I'll TP right to and start it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm down for 20 then, fuck.
Call. Good call.
Bellona's down the longest, by the way.
Yeah.
I can
get there. They can't miss it. You're gonna try that, looks like.
Get over.
Yeah.
Eager, cool and calculated. They're not going for the impetuous win, but want to make sure that they can secure themselves this victory and leave no doubt in anyone's mind that they are the superior team.
Though, I don't know, Hughes, even with a Game 3 victory here for Eager, I think a lot of teams will walk away from this set not necessarily being impressed with Eager's performance, but Black Dragons instead. These underdogs pushing Eager to the absolute limit. 2 37-minute plus games. Could be 40 before this one closes out. Game 1 was over 40 minutes. Game 2 was a stomp. No, Eager never stomped this team. I think that's the big takeaway here is Black Dragons were the only one to look dominant in a game so far this set. Eager may come out on top here, but it certainly wasn't easy for them.
It was a grind, this victory.
Yes.
It wasn't walking over the top of an international team like we've usually seen, and I think all of the international teams have really showed up to this event. And, you know, you were saying before how competitive Smite is right now, and we're seeing it here. And the winner of this set goes on to face the winner of our next set, which is going to be Dignitas versus Saw. What a matchup that one's going to be. I know both of those teams are watching this matchup very closely.
What a day. We could have every single set go the distance.
Yeah.
All 3 games. I think a lot of people predicted that this would be the only set to go 2. Well, here we are. We're 38 minutes into Game 3. Certainly not an easy victory for the boys in blue.
Black Dragons, this is going to be basically the final defense for them. Full Fire Giant team of Team Eager, full buff team of Team Eager as well. Going to be very difficult for the Black Dragons to find anything here. It's really going to require a misplay out of Team Eager for anything to happen for the Brazilian squad.
DJ pushing up that right-hand side, making sure there's fire minion pressure coming into the Titan room from the opposite end of where the rest of his team is pushing. Almost getting that Magi's Blessing off of Aror there, but Kliz a little bit off the mark with that disarm. That's a key cooldown to make sure that Aror doesn't have that CC immunity for PIBE's pull.
In goes Kliz looking for the Eagles rally, trying to find something. Terra's Blessing out as well. Divios picks up the Bellona, drags him back to the rest of his team. Bellona very low here, but still somehow alive, stunned out by the heart bomb from Zapman. djpernicus trying to find something around the side, but Eager can't make it happen.
Slight win there for Black Dragons in my mind. You get a couple ultimates out for
Oh
only
my
one
goodness.
from Kliz. Big stun though out of Aror. Zapman finds 2. Eager look to move on.
All 3 Phoenixes down, fully Fire Giant to the North American squad. They're going to take this one big Kraken out of Nann, but it's too little, too late. Team Eager finally close out this series in the 3rd game.
I don't know if you caught that there, but that was pure relief on Zapman's face. Look at them. Look at all of Eager. They know they just got pushed to the brink by Black Dragons, who had an unbelievable showing here today. Really strong set. Brazil not able to find the victory over the N8 team, but certainly a lot to be proud of with the way they played.
I think Team Eager even enjoyed that. So you could see them all smiling. You know, game 1 was pretty fun. Game 2, I think, was probably not fun, but that looked like a fun game.
It was close, man. It was back and forth. Eager was in control for more of that game than they were of game one, I would say. Game one was a little bit more back and forth, though actually on retrospect, game one was also kind of Eager controlled, but then Black Dragons made a big play to get back into it. Either way, Eager knows that they're going to have to go back and watch this VOD and get ready for whoever they're going to face tomorrow, because Dignitas and Soar are both teams that have done it more consistently on an international stage than Black Dragons have.
For me, the man of that game was djpernicus. In game number 2, he was not in it at all. Eager basically had no chance because it was a 5-on-4. This game, though, really showed up, really a lot of control with Serqet, a lot of damage, really putting his team in a situation to win.
I agree with you. He definitely showed up. Game 2 was not a good one for him on that Ratatosker. I think anyone could say that. But game 3, you're right. Divios also had a pretty solid game there out of the solo lane. But talk about Zapman. I mean, Zapman wins game 1 for Eager with a big play towards the end of the game. That game, he was like, what, 7, 9? He had a bunch of kills and 0 deaths and a lot of assists. The Hunter has done it all and just decides to, through sheer force of will, that they're moving on to the semifinals.
Well, you've seen the games. Analysts, take us through what you guys saw.
HughZ, your man of the hour might have been djpernicus, but I'd probably have to give that one to Divios, starting things off and keeping things alive for Team Eager at the start of game number 3. Things weren't looking very ideal for them, but Divios on this Fenrir, it's not something he's unfamiliar with, but the matchup just seems so great.
Not at all. You know, we didn't really know what the gods were going to go for Team Eager between the Fenrir, the Ratatosker, as well as the Terra, but Divios did a great job finding that first blood, Ragnarok and Kliz under his own tower.
And it was really just Divios getting so far ahead and becoming so tanky that permitted Zapman to really shine later on in the game. And Ataraxia, I mean, you're a Hunter player. How does it feel to be a Cupid just free casting?
It's perfect. You know, Zap just had the Zap and Best. I mean, the Best kind of, he took the point of the focus, but Zap was just shooting. He was holding left click. He had no pressure on him whatsoever because Divios and DJ and Aror were just jumping in fearlessly. Like Divios especially was just dumping into tier 2s for, you know, just for the pressure. And Zap got to free cast completely. He had a fantastic game, and it's, you know, that this is the perfect Zapman situation, and he played it as Zapman would.
I feel like that's something that both DJ and Divios love and thrive on, basically diving that backline, allowing Zap to make these kind of plays. He was just so focused every single step of the way, being able to really get the right targets off, and even when he was pressured by some of these abilities, just using his relics brilliantly, not taking any damage.
And I do feel as though a large issue that Black Dragons fell victim to was just that overcommit. Multiple times they kept trying to dump everything into Zapman to try and secure a kill, but between the Terra's blessing and just the overall peel coming out from Divios and djpernicus, Zap just kept shrinking out of there. 1 HP, Cupid pops the hearts, and he's good to go.
Absolutely. You know, it wasn't the same 31,000 healing that djpernicus did on the Aphrodite, but between both the Cupid and the Terra, they had 18,000 healing combined at the end of that game.
And that's nothing to scoff at in the slightest. That was a well-played draft by Eager, and it's even more interesting that it went so well for them, considering their late game wasn't even necessarily the strong point when you look at that draft. In the later stages, you would expect it to go the way of Black Dragons, but instead, Eager just had complete control the whole way through.
Unfortunately for Black Dragons, they're going to lose this set. The cripples didn't really work out for them between the Poseidon and the Ares. Eager, they advanced to day number 3 in the semifinals, best of 5.
Ataraxia, really, what do you think was probably the best moment for Eager throughout that game?
It was Divios, I think. Just, you know, every moment he could jump in and he could do whatever he wanted. And as a Fenrir, when you can just jump into a team fight, you're so tanky, you can bring anyone out. It's, you know, it's the dream. And Eager played a great set, but I think Brazil should be so proud of what they did here today. That was probably the best. I mean, I didn't see my own game, but for me to watch, that was the best set of the day, and I think it will continue to be the best set of the day. So that was inspiring stuff.
More than anything else, you can kind of just expect that the international teams are definitely stepping it up and showing that they have what it takes to compete with these NA and EU powerhouses. And I think that's probably one of the most important takeaway parts. And like you mentioned, there is absolutely nothing for them to be ashamed of. They came out and they honestly played their hearts out, and that was an excellent performance all around by the Brazilian team, Black Dragons. But before anything else, we do have Eager, who are actually the victors, and they will be progressing to tomorrow's semifinals matches. So now we've actually got djpernicus standing alongside HughZ. Tell you guys more about how that set felt for them.
Welcome to Between Two Perns. I'm joined here by the captain and jungler of Team Eager. So first of all, DJ, that's got to be a relieving game 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just following the script, to be honest. We all know that it's the Brazilians are here to take back Princess Fleur from Zap, and they were going to fight valiantly, and they took it to a game 3, but we didn't let it happen. She's staying.
So Divios on that Fenrir is something he's played before, but you know, was that kind of something you were wanting to hold to day 2 and was forced out by the Brazilians, or was it just kind of that's what you felt in the moment?
No, I think, you know, it was just like, it sounded good, especially against what they were doing, and so we just went with that. Yeah.
Game 2, though, was pretty dominant by the Brazilian squad. That's got to be an unfamiliar feeling.
I mean, we actually played against not Brazilians, but Latin Americans, and obviously they get an opportunity to play against Brazilians. So we know that that region's better than most people probably expect. But it is a quarterfinal where we know that, no disrespect to them, that we're probably going to come out on top. So to some degree, obviously, we're not going to throw, you know, the full set of tools at them. But yeah, they did play good, and I think it's kind of expected, even though maybe the average viewer wouldn't think so.
So the Aphrodite pick in the first game, what's the theory behind that?
I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. It just looked good. I clicked the button. I was like, dang, that chick's hot. And then I clicked the button.
All right, sound strategy there.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, you guys are going to be facing up against the winner of Dignitas and Sword. Do you have really a preference there who you face?
Not really. I mean, obviously, you want NA to do well at this tournament, so it'd be nice for them to win since LG went out earlier. But at the same time, for me personally, I'd rather play teams that I haven't played online, which would be European teams, obviously. So, so yeah, either way, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, DJ. Before we let you go, any shout-outs?
I guess shout-outs to any family members, if you guys are out there watching. I don't know if anyone is today. And shout-outs to, I guess, my team and anyone who supports us. So, yeah. And the Carrot Squad. Yeah.
And the Carrot Squad.
Yeah.
Pern F. All right, thank you very much for joining us, DJ. Analysts, we'll throw it back to you guys.